Welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another video summing up all the latest Manchester United news today. Essentially, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's takeover of Manchester United is done. That could be announced during the international break and he's set to make some massive changes. 3 big sackings set to happen at United. So we'll dive into what Ineos's plans are. What is their plan for Erik ten Hag? Why are they looking around at other managers as well? We've also got a big transfer update. Todibo, according to the Muppeteers, is very, very likely in their words, and a centre-back signing could be very likely happening in 2024. In fact, I believe a centre-back signing will happen in 2024, potentially January, depending on sales, as Manchester United are planning a massive January clear-out with 3 big names expected to leave in January. So let's dive into the news, starting with the takeover story. It was said by 3 decent sources here, Sky Kavanagh, Muppeteers and Simon Stone, the takeover is essentially done. It was said by Sky Kavanagh, a date has now been set for an announcement that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos will be buying a minority stake in United. The Muppeteers have said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's minority stake is essentially done. And Simon Stone said that Ratcliffe's deal to become a minority shareholder in Manchester United is expected to be agreed during this month's international break, possibly as early as next week. So essentially, we know that the takeover is done and we know that it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There's a few idiots online saying, oh, you know, inside sources told me Qatar are coming back in. No, they just want Twitter followers. It is going to be Ratcliffe. I wanted Qatar, I wanted a full sale, but it's going to be Ratcliffe, and that's the way it is. So what to expect of Ratcliffe coming in? So it said that Sir Dave Brailsford will be heavily involved in the running of United. Not a guy I'm super familiar with. I think he's a cyclist or something. He seems to be Ratcliffe's right-hand man, but he looks to be coming in. Don't know enough about him. Is he a name that I'm like, wow? No. I like Blanc, who'll be coming in. I like Mitchell, who'll likely be coming in. But I couldn't tell you enough about Sir Dave Brailsford. I'll have to do a bit of research on him as well. It was said by Simon Stone that sources with close working knowledge of Ratcliffe say it was impossible to imagine he'd agree to be a silent partner. Many believe Manchester United will benefit from a new pair of eyes looking at how it is run. And Romana said there's a very strong possibility that Jean-Claude Blanc will join United. And Jean-Claude Blanc will be a really good appointment from United. We've done a video on what good job he did at Juventus and PSG. I've always said Blanc and Mitchell will be great appointments for United, but is still here and Jim Ratcliffe only 25%. The fear is how much power they'd be given to do a good job. Because I think that Blanc is great. I think that Mitchell's great. I don't know enough about Brailsford as well. But what we do know from sources, and again, it could be Sir Jim Ratcliffe PR. There's likely to be a little bit of PR because a lot of people are fuming that it's not the full sale. But what we know from sources is that Ratcliffe's intention is to improve Man United on the footballing side. Ratcliffe's got enough money with Ineos that he's not interested in taking money out of United. He can do that with Ineos. He's focused on making Man United better on the pitch, implementing a structure. So that's the one positive for me. It's not a full sale. I want a full sale. But Ratcliffe is making sporting changes that need to be changed. And according to reports, he has Man United's best interest at heart. And all we've got to hope for now is that Ratcliffe has United's best interest at heart. And that is true. And that's not PR. We've got to hope that he can change and bring in Paul Mitchell. He can change and bring in Blanc. And then we've got to hope he eventually buys the Glazers out. Now, what else should we talk about? So there's also other news coming out on the takeover, but it has come out from the Sun. So I always say take the Sun with a pinch of salt. The Sun and the Star, they're definitely the 2 dodgy ones. But it was said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to know how Manchester United have blown 1.4 billion in the transfer market. I think we all want to know that. It's ridiculous how bad we are at spending. That 1.4 billion could build you a Champions League winning squad. And we now want to sell 90% of our team. It was also said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is planning a massive overhaul of Manchester United player scouting and acquisition networks as he takes charge of the club's football operations as well by the Sun. And essentially they've been saying, basically, Ratcliffe wants to know how we've wasted 1.4 billion. He wants to put a proper footballing structure in place, kind of like Liverpool, kind of like Arsenal, where we actually can sell players and we can buy players a lot more efficiently, which is what we need because Liverpool has spent less money than us. Arsenal spent less money than us. They're a lot better than us. Newcastle spent less money than us. They're a lot better than us. Villa has spent less money than us. They're a lot better than us. Brighton has spent a lot less money than us. They're a lot better than us. You know, I look at it and I go, Liverpool and Arsenal, they don't really like their owners, but their owners employed competent people, got a competent football structure, and now have had decent recruitment. That's what we need at United. And the interesting thing that was said about the triple sacking by the Sun here was that CEO Richard Arnold, football director John Murtagh, and director of football operations David Harrison are all at risk of being sacked when Ratcliffe takes charge of United's football operations on Monday. Now, this has come with the Sun. Come out by the Sun, so you always take it with a pinch of salt because they're saying he's going to take over on Monday. I don't know if it'll be that quick, but we do know from other reliable sources that Harrison, Arnold and Mercer's jobs are all at risk, and they'd be replaced by Brailsford, Mitchell and Blanc, which for me is improvements all around, so cannot complain. Guys, do hit that like button if you have not already, and of course subscribe down below if you're new. This report continued in to say that Ratcliffe is concerned at how the trio have continued to oversee succession of expensive purchases following the departure of previous chief Ed Woodward. So it was basically said that Ratcliffe kind of wants those three sacked because they replaced Ed Woodward and they're still not doing well recruitment-wise. I think the recruitment under Eric Ten Hag's been one of the worst. Mason Mount's not even playing. Antony, the amount of money you spent on him, it's been dreadful. And a lot of the recruitment under Ten Hag has just been Ajax players, Eredivisie players, or players that Ten Hag worked with. The only good recruitment is looking like Højlund right now. It was also said that Ratcliffe accepts that Ten Hag has credit in the bank following last season's third-place finish in Carabao Cup success. He also concedes Ten Hag was brought in 18 months ago on the back of successes and failures. That's what the Sun has said. There was a few reports coming out, and I think the United Muppeteers got misquoted to say that Ratcliffe's interested in sacking Ten Hag, but then the United Muppeteers said that they'd been misquoted, and they said that Ratcliffe will bring in the sporting operation, change the sporting operations, and they will make a decision about Ten Hag if results don't change. But as far as I'm aware, Ratcliffe does not have any intention to sack Eric Ten Hag. It seems to be those three on the board sacked before anything else. Now, one thing that has been heating up is maybe Todibo in January because of Ratcliffe. So what have the United Muppeteers said? Because the centre-back situation seems to be pretty important with the injuries we've got as well. It was said here, as of now, Jean-Claire Todibo is very likely to be the next centre-back signing at Manchester United. A deal would be easy to complete. That was said by the Muppeteers. They're saying very likely it's Todibo to be the next centre-back signing. It's going to be easy to complete. Why is it going to be easy to complete? Because one, he's got a £38 million price tag on him, which is very affordable. Two, he's in fantastic form. And three, is at Nice. Ineos connections will work well in our favour. And we know from Fabrizio Romano that Todibo would love to join United. He dreams of joining Manchester United. It was then said by the Muppeteers there's a good chance that Rafael Varane will leave Manchester United in the summer. He has interest from Saudi Arabia and elsewhere. However, they didn't mention January. There has been rumours of Varane leaving in January. They're saying that's not the case. It's also been said that Casemiro has interest from Saudi and could leave as well. And we also know that they don't plan to keep Amrabat beyond his loan deal. So I think there could be some big clear out in the summer. But we're also going to get into the big clear out in January in a second. It was said that Eric Ten Hag is keen to keep Rafael Varane at Manchester United amid interest from the Saudi Pro League in January. So despite rumours that Varane's unhappy leaving in January, that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be summer. And it was said that Jared Braithwaite is one of Manchester United's major transfer targets at centre-back. Man United want two centre-backs to come in because they might lose Varane, and they're also going to probably lose someone else, plus they just need one for depth, Johnny Evans. So it looks like it could be Todibo, and then they'll probably be looking at Braithwaite, Antonio Silva, and Nacio, someone else to come in on top of Todibo as well. Now, in terms of other news around Manchester United, it has been said, and this has been said by The Sun, so do take the pinch of salt, that Sancho, Antony, and Anthony Martial are all set to be sold by Man United in January. I can't see it happening because they're on big wages and they've not been very good, and I think they'll be hard to sell. If the Sun has said Man United want to sell Sancho, Antony, and Anthony Martial in January, I believe you. Do I think we'll be able to sell them? I'm not sure. Sancho will probably get a loan. Antony will probably stay. Martial will be open to selling, but I don't think we'll get any offers for him because he'll be 3 in the summer, his injury record, and of course his everything else. But generally, that I think would be pretty great. So from what I've read, from the information we've gained, I essentially assume Manchester United have got some quite big plans going forward to improve recruitment, to get rid of some of the big names. And we know that Blanc, who's likely to come to United, as Romano said, when he went to Juventus, he got rid of big names, high money stars. We know that that's what Paul Mitchell does, recruits good replacements. I have a feeling that in January, it will be Sancho going. Man United will be open to offloading Martial and Antony, but I'm not sure if they'll go. I think Casemiro, Amrabat, and of course Varane could go in the summer. And I think there's a lot of names that could be leaving Manchester United in the summer. Big names, big high money stars, and it could be a very busy 2024 in terms of signings. Todibo and Antonio Silva, I think, are Ten Hag's two first choice at centre back. If something happens with the right back, we know he's interested in Frimpong. We also know that Ten Hag is a big fan of Nico Williams and Noosa on the right wing. United do like Neto, but his injury record is particularly concerning. But it looks like Manchester United are looking at strikers, right wingers, 2 centre backs, and number 6. and a number 8, with Onana and Palacios sort of linked to that number 8, because they've also got to find a long-term replacement for Eriksen, which you could say was Mason Mount, but it's looking like Mason Mount wasn't even a 10 signing. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video, storming through all the news. I hope you found this informing. Let me know your thoughts on the news. Please do hit that like button, subscribe down below if you're new. I might be back live tonight, but I'm not feeling 100% well, so it might just be videos for the next few days until my mouth and throat and everything wants to sort itself out. See you next time. Bye.